Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Now, I'm opposed to the plan as presented, based on criteria. It's the proposed layout of lots and open space effectively protects environmental, and I'm going to leave off the historic resources, but one of my main concerns is that within the limit of disturbance, it seems like there's only one specimen tree that even has a chance of surviving. I think that the clearing there going on that is necessary for this plan to go in effect isn't really protecting the environmental resources on the site. And also as part of that, I guess the other criteria is basically that buildings, parking areas, roads, stormwater management facilities, and other site features are located to take advantage of existing topography and to limit the extent of clearing and grading. Again, I'm opposed to it based on the amount of clearing that has to be done for this project as proposed, and the grading and buildup of several areas, especially for that stormwater management pond, that you're basically going to have to build up a lot of soil on those steep slopes, and that's where my primary objections go, as well as, I believe you haven't really been too keen on any discussion of density, but I think that if they went with less units, I'd be more inclined to support the plan.
Objection, move to strike. This is not a question about density. It's not probative of anything in this case. You can overrule me.
I'm overruling you. Please continue.
Okay, that's just my opinion. I'd be more in favor or supportive of the development plan if it more adequately protected the environmental resources, limited the topographic grading and clearing, the alterations to the site. Those are some of my main concerns, and I think that those are very, very much tied into the number of units that are going to go in this small defined area. That's all I have to say tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
I'm sorry, your name again?
Kevin Burke.
Kevin Burke, okay. Mr. Burke, how are you employed?
I work for the Department of Justice, specifically the Federal Bureau of Investigation as an intelligence analyst.
Okay. Do you have any training in environmental resource evaluation or anything to do with land use, land development, or anything of that sort?
Nothing specific that I would put on a resume, no.
Nothing specific. What do you mean by that?
Basically, I read a lot. I've looked at some other development plans.
Is it fair to say that in the area of what we're talking about, land development, that you are a layperson?
I would say I'm a novice at best.
Okay. So your first statement was that you don't feel that the plan protects environmental resources. What environmental resources are you asserting that it does not protect?
The specimen trees that are...
Stop for a second on specimen trees.
Sure.
Okay, so the testimony was that 22 out of 29 specimen trees are going to be protected. That, you recall that testimony? Were you here for that?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And that only 7 specimen trees are being taken down. And you recall what type of specimen trees those were?
Not the specific species. I think tulip poplars were mentioned.
Poplar, okay. And the testimony was that the specimen trees themselves were not high quality trees. Do you dispute that?
Well, I'm not as trained
Facts not in evidence. I believe the actual landscape plan says differently.
I think we're going to play this the way we're supposed to. You're supposed to object to his statement.
That's fine.
Okay.
I object.
There we go.
I believe that the plans that are submitted, the landscape plan where the trees are analyzed, they are actually listed as
Let me restate
good
the question,
quality.
if I may. Do you recall Mr. Stone's testimony about the specimen trees? Were you here when he testified?
Yes, I was.
Do you have anything to present to this board that his conclusions on the specimen trees were erroneous or not in compliance with law?
I do not.
Okay. What are the other environmental resources that you feel that this plan does not protect?
Basically, that building up that stormwater management, while necessary, building up a steep slope.
No. What is it impacting? What environmental resource do you believe it does not protect?
I believe that you're clearing the entire site, basically except for that one specimen tree.
Do you understand my question?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm asking you about, because you believe that there's an impact to some environmental resource and it's not adequately protected. That was your testimony.
Yes.
I'm asking you which environmental resource you believe is not adequately protected.
Well-
You said what did you say?
I said that basically the clearing of the specimen trees, moving around of all the soil.
Okay, the soil you think is an environmental resource.
It is when you move it around, it endangers other areas. I'm not confident.
What does it endanger?
The river
Okay, so you believe it endangers the river.
and the
Okay, there
endangered
is a-
species in the vicinity of
Okay,
it.
so there's bulk requirements attended to the RHED, correct? All kinds of buffers and so forth, the distances you have to be set back. from the
I would
plant.
agree that those are yes.
Okay, so despite the fact that all of those are met or exceeded, you believe nevertheless that the river, for instance, is not being protected.
I think
correct?
there's still a risk, yes.
Okay. Do you have any empirical evidence to suggest to this board that the river is nevertheless of meeting the state, county requirements, MDE requirements, that there's still a danger? Do you have any empirical evidence to show them?
I do not.
Okay. That's all I have, Mr. Roy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do you have some questions?
If I could.